Thank you, Mr. Chris Pruce and Mr. Kevin Clark, for this incredible honor to address my friends and colleagues. I'd like to start by asking everyone, what is the future of mobility? And maybe more importantly, how will your specific areas in the organization need to grow and adapt to provide the maximum amount of value for our customers in the future? Well, to help answer those questions, today I'd like to provide a crisp and focused view on the nature of great innovations and changes taking place in our automotive ecosystem. As everyone in this audience knows, our industry is inundated with exponential technologies, new startup businesses, and even novel business models. There's no doubt that the road ahead is winding, and the scenery will be profoundly new. And as I think of this unbounded future, I'm reminded of a quote attributed to Mark Twain that states, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes." So let's go back in time to see if the rhythm of our industry is truly beginning to rhyme. Well, not far from here, a century ago, an assembly line in Highland Park, Michigan started rolling out the Ford Model T. That defining moment in history marked the start of the transportation model that was powered by the internal combustion engine that we are all a part of today. But let's consider for a moment what really made the Model T remarkable. Was it the boxy styling, the skinny little bicycle-sized tires, or the fact that you can get it in any color, provided it was black? No. Many people have asked this question would answer with Henry Ford was the first to produce cars on an assembly line. And I couldn't agree more. Henry Ford did apply the moving assembly line concept to the production of the automobile, allowing him to increase both the car's quality and production quantity, all the while achieving those critical price reductions that create the mass market appeal. But that's just the start of the story. As history shows, the Model T wasn't actually the cheapest car available. And it didn't have many of the features that the initially more popular cars of the era had. And with over 300 newly formed car companies in the marketplace, competition was extremely intense. So what was it that set the Model T apart from the rest? What problems did Henry Ford solve differently that made his competition irrelevant? Well, consider this. At that time, there was only 600 miles of paved road in the entire United States. Gas stations didn't dot the roadscape, and dirt roads were commonplace with the horse as a standard mode of transportation. And on those country roads that horses found easily maneuverable, they quickly became impassable quagmires of mud for new automobiles. Well, at least most automobiles. See, Henry Ford had solved that problem by designing the Model T with a high ground clearance and three-point suspension that gave ample axle articulation across the rough terrain, while permitting the chassis to flex without twisting and cracking the engine. And to further increase the versatility and robustness, he used expensive, high-strength vanadium steel on all of the high-stress components, such as the crankshaft, the front axle, and the wheel spindles. And lastly, Ford pioneered the massive simplification of the engine by instituting the use of a removable cylinder head, and then he grouped all the cylinders together in a single engine block. Now you may be saying to yourself, that sounds like the way we make engines today, and you'd be precisely right. But before that point, the standard engine design of the day had each cylinder head cast as part of the cylinder. And consequently, that required each cylinder to be cast in a single cylinder fashion. So for instance, if you wanted an inline six-cylinder engine, you'd have to bolt together each cylinder one at a time to each other, and then bolt that structure to the crankcase. If Ford had stuck with that approach, it would have increased his overall weight, complexity, and his precious assembly line time. As you can see, it wasn't just the application of the assembly line or any one of the technological improvements that made the Model T a success. It was the comprehensive systems integration and bold innovations that culminated into that truly remarkable product. Now, it's easy to stay in the present, to look back in time, to see those moments in history that really matter, to see those moments that fundamentally changed the way we live. What's harder is to stay in the present to see around the next corner. But I believe everyone here at Delphi, at least, is starting to peek around that corner now. Due to the convergence of technologies, the automotive world is finding new and inventive ways to create more value in the lives of our customers and in society as a whole. From advanced driver assistance systems, driver health and wellness monitoring, vehicle-to-vehicle connectivity, vehicle-to-infrastructure connectivity. Heck, Delphi saw the trend and coined the term V2E, vehicle-to-everything connectivity. On to open source applications and the maturing of battery and fuel cell-based electric vehicles that now compete with internal combustion vehicles on every front. all the way down to fully autonomous cars and pay-per-use mobility companies. And the list just goes on and on. Now, we know the industry is shifting. In fact, we're leaders in a lot of the changes taking place. Delphi's own autonomous driving system was retrofitted on Audi SUV that drove coast to coast from San Francisco to New York City in automated mode 99% of the time. We're truly a beacon of the possibilities that await this industry. But if we're on the cusp of another Model T moment, using history as our guide, the all-encompassing strategy with world-class execution will be the one that will thrive. But maybe you're in a product line or area in the organization where you believe bold innovation simply isn't required to make this future a reality. I would contest that point. Now, the questions you may be faced with solving every day and every month and every year may be exactly the same. How do we create customer value? How do we drive profitability? How do we reduce costs? And my personal favorite, how do we beat the competition? However, in dynamic environments, the answers to those questions over time need to change. Just as the success of the Model T required a broad range of new and innovative ideas packaged in that comprehensive way, the accelerants of success lie not just in these one-off innovations we bring to the OEM, but in a complete value chain offering. And the innovative approach I'm talking about is not exclusive to the engineering community either. Finance, sales, marketing, purchasing, and each and every group within the company needs to be looking for new and better ways to progress the organization. We need to be productively curious. We need to find those second and third order derivative patterns of how the world is changing and capitalize on them. Now, Delphi has a rich heritage of innovation excellence. It's one that we should all be proud to be part of. And there's no doubt that we are positioned for greatness in this automotive industry of the future. But what I would like to challenge everyone here today with is to be the catalyst of positive change in this new automotive ecosystem. It's time for another Model T moment with Delphi leading the charge. Together, let's push the boundaries of what it means to be safe, green, and connected. Thank you.